Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm one of your hosts, Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me to present the Tarpon Springs Chamber is Miss Jean Hungiville.
Thank you. I am so glad you're back.
Oh, thank
my
you.
God,
I'm so glad to be back.
I know, it's been a long time.
But we can't get in trouble today. We got to behave.
Oh, come on.
Well,
Oh, come on.
I lied.
All right,
We know better than that.
You want to introduce our guest, or you want me
I was
to? Go ahead.
I was talking to Pam. Good morning and welcome
Good
to My
morning.
Chamber TV.
Thank you for having me.
I was talking to Pam Carfi. She has her own business here, and she's still involved in the, corporate world and everything. But to ignite your occasion, think about, you can see the prompts that you have here, which kind of tells the story, all in the brand.
Yes.
So what made you decide to start this type of business? You're an event planner, and of course, weddings. Gosh, you're going to be so busy with all the people moving here.
That's awesome. Thank you for blessing my business. I followed my heart. It just really came down to that. I was in the community doing community service, and my heart is to help people. And I have this pretty incredible skill in project management, and I put the two together and came up with wedding and event planning.
Wow.
So I really would love to just help people have amazing days.
Putting project management and your heart together is not something I would normally have thought of.
Right.
But it makes so much sense. But it is a crazy business.
It is.
Putting together events because you never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
No kidding. And I'm sure there's no event that is exactly the same. It's like a different day, a different event.
Absolutely.
The planning is different, customizing and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
So how far out do you have to plan?
Well, I have clients that come to me 18 months in advance, especially the weddings, sometimes the bride's a year and a half, a year, for the home party, a retirement party, a birthday party, a New Year's Eve party, a couple months. So it could be anywheres from, just depending on the type of event that the client requires. So it depends on the planning process, but it's definitely, I've done a wedding in a couple months.
Very
and actually
nice.
Just recently turned a whole wedding in one day. So rescheduled a whole wedding in one day.
In one day?
Oh
my
That's
goodness.
great project management skills.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Because the emotions that are involved.
That's
with all
right.
of that,
That's
it's
right.
Just everything that's on high alert, and you're the anchor to the whole thing.
That's right.
That's
Yes.
very good.
I like it.
I like that.
Yes,
The
I like
anchor.
that. The anchor.
Because
yes.
you're going to get things done, and I'm sure you have to zig and zag and make all these things happen, especially to meet such a quick criteria.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was very challenging, but project management mode got turned on and took care of the client, and it was a beautiful day.
Now, everybody focuses on weddings because that's this time of the year, but there's also birthday parties.
Yes.
Do you do kids' birthday parties?
The kids hasn't been an opportunity. I like the adult birthday parties.
Okay. Get more creative, I guess. With
You
that.
can get more creative. There's the kids' birthday parties are like the Spider-Man, Superman, the ballerina, all of those things. But the adult birthday parties are great because a lot of the adults just don't have the time to, plan their own things. They're busy with work and families, and they let me be creative,
that's fun.
and they just give me their vision, and I just make it happen. So
You make it happen, and that's why you're so successful. I've got some notes here on this, and I know, we just touched on it briefly on the stress of weddings.
Yes.
So what do you do to kind of counteract that for yourself and for your clients that you're working with?
So counteract the stress for myself. I keep
meditate
it all inside.
Then let loose after the
Then
wedding?
let loose after the wedding, right?
That's fine. That's successful.
I love it. Yeah, like you were saying, you were at this exotic location for
Yes.
the wedding and took 2 days afterwards.
That's what
for
I did.
yourself.
Yes, I did.
that's
I
exciting.
added on a couple days to that destination wedding and relaxed at the beach
Let it all
and
out.
let it all just, and
when
take it all in. It's actually take
Of
it all
course.
in because at the end of the day, when the client, has this amazing day with, as a couple, their families, their friends, and they didn't lift a finger. None of their family did, and I get to give. It's like a present I get to give them. And
Great satisfaction.
I was just going to say that.
Yes.
It's so rewarding for yourself to see this pan out just the way you planned it with your ideas. So they
it's the client. It's the client's vision that I'm just helping, execute that.
Yeah.
And so that's what's really cool. And when they come up to me afterwards, and I get a hug, or I get, one couple they each gave me a kiss on each cheek and took a photo. It was really cute.
That's precious. So what makes you
needs to go on your website.
Oh, absolutely. I hope so.
Yes.
What makes you different than some of the other wedding planners? Do they offer the same thing? Do you go above and beyond?
Right.
I can tell you certainly do from your heart.
Yes.
But what's different? Why do I?
It's a great question. Yes, it's a great question. I actually, before I started my business, I went and because I needed to bridge the gap in my knowledge area for wedding planning, wedding and event planning. So I had all this project management experience, but I went and got a wedding planning certification, and I started, the place I got that from has continuing education and support and resources.
Oh, really?
So not only does my client get me, but they get this whole backing behind me, because I don't have the answers to everything.
Sure.
That would be lovely, but
Sure.
but I have resources to go to, and I'm always in the know. I'm continuing my education. Last year, super excited that I just got my master wedding planning certification. So just to reinforce what you said, the difference for me is my 20 plus years in IT project management and my master certification in wedding planning.
You've got a whole support network.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Then you can pass on all of that experience.
That's right.
That does make you different. Absolutely.
It does make a huge difference. 'Cause
Yes.
I didn't realize that was the kind of thing that was available for something like that.
Right. Not a lot of people do, right?
So that
I
makes
know.
you a cut above the rest.
Oh,
A
way.
couple
Yes.
minutes remaining. Now,
Yes.
you just joined the chamber, thanks to Miss Jean.
Yes.
Here. I know she's twisting your arm, and I know you're glad. So how's it working so far?
It's great. I love got onto the website, did my profile. I mean, I'm really a brand new member, so I'm just started
just in the
going
last
to,
month.
I went to a couple events and met some great people so far. So I'm really glad it's in my backyard, and I'm really excited to see, how I can just start growing my business and being partners with everybody there.
You're such a smart young lady for joining the chamber, and especially the Tarpon Chamber, because this gal, how long have you been doing this, Missy?
I just passed 6 years. It's amazing. I did not expect that.
I tell you,
Wow.
and I've seen her do miracles over there, and you're at the right place at the right time.
That's awesome.
And she will make sure that you know everybody in the neighborhood. And of
Yes.
course, with the show, with being on My Chamber TV, it gives you that exposure to let everybody know that, hey, I'm here. Right?
Right.
And what do you do? The main area here in Pinellas, Pasco County?
Yes, well, I service wherever the client takes me.
That's
How's that
the right answer.
We were on the phone. Was it Martinique?
It was
destination?
Dominican Republic. Yeah,
and-
Punta Cana was the recent one, and then I just got back from St. Augustine, so I'm
Nice.
going places.
It's a shame
Down
that
the
you
road
have
on
to
the
go
bayou.
travel.
I know,
like
it's
this.
such a shame.
Yes. Why don't you be just around the corner on the bayou?
Yes, around the corner, exactly, in the backyard. I love. And in fact, that's where the client from the Dominican Republic came. She's in Newport Richey, so
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's
And-
so perfect.
yep.
I can't believe we could sit and talk with you all day,
Yes.
especially when it comes to love and pulling parties together and
Right.
being that planner that you are. If you would like to get a hold of this young lady, please feel free to. Her name is Pam Carfi, and we hope to see you out and about in the
Thank
neighborhood.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us on My Chamber TV.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. You've got it all. You're the complete package. And if you want to plan an event, we have one coming up in 2 years, our 25th anniversary.
Yay.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank
We'll be
you.
right back. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is Jean Hungiville. We are featuring the Tarpon Springs Chamber.
Oh, of course, it's our day.
It is our day, absolutely. In fact, we have a very special guest that has just joined the chamber, and I'm excited. Liz Doyle from Sandpiper Services, brand new, and a brand new Floridian.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How fun is that? And you started your own cleaning business, correct?
I did.
And you invested in your company. You spent a couple of dollars to get some professional training on which way to go, how to make yourself different. So how's it working so far?
Oh, it's been an amazing journey. I started my business on my own, and I decided to invest in myself, invest in my company, to make sure that I'm setting things up correctly to service my customers properly, to service my employees properly, and just to run a profitable company.
When it comes to a cleaning business, there are a lot of them around here, and we have a lot of senior citizens. I'm one of them. And, sometimes you just don't want to be bothered. But I've never had a cleaning service because I know what I would do. I would clean first, then have you come in. Do you have people that do that?
Oh, a lot of people. The old saying, got to clean for the clean lady.
Yes. So what is it that you are offering in your service so that we don't do that and we just turn it over to you?
Well, the main focus of my business, and one of the reasons that I wanted to start it, was to take stress out of people's lives.
Thank you.
Yes. We all have it. We work. We have kids, dogs, pets. Everybody has something that keeps their lives so busy. So the whole point is to de-stress, come home to a clean house. And that's what I drive home when I first meet with my clients.
That is a very, very good, valid point, because when you can come home and you're not stressed out, and you might have to cook, but it's okay if you don't have to clean up the kitchen from the night before or whatever the case may be. And, it keeps your home really clean and maintenance free practically on a regular basis. How often would you recommend coming to someone's home? Everybody's different, right? Especially how many kids you have, how many pets?
Right. In our case, we have 2 humongous Great Pyrenees, so we need like a daily service.
Oh my goodness!
But so I usually recommend it. Again, it varies, like you mentioned. Probably at least once a month.
Probably depends, too, on how people keep their house and how pets have.
Everybody's
For instance,
different.
the Great Pyrenees is completely different as far as shedding from a doodle because of the no shedding.
Exactly.
But you've got a whole nother part of your business, too, that's not just doing everyday cleaning. For instance, if somebody has like Airbnb and those kinds of things, that's the kind of thing that if somebody has a rental.
Yes.
So
yes.
Talk a little bit about why that's important.
Well, the sole reason of reviews are a short-term rental owner's lifeline.
Yes.
And if there's one hair seen or something's out of place, then that can really affect ratings.
Oh, sure.
So in the way that the properties show up on these platforms. Since I have hired a coach, I actually have shifted my business more towards the residential. So, but I have 2 Airbnbs up north in Chicago. And so that's where my business started from. And so I can definitely lend a hand when it comes to guiding people in the right direction.
Is that what made you get started in starting this business here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was very hard for me to let go of the cleaning aspect of our personal properties.
Okay.
So, because I'm
have you
very
hired
particular.
somebody up there?
Yes, I found 2 amazing cleaners up there that I have fully entrusted. And that's the whole basis of cleaning services, is trusting people in your home, trusting them to do a good job. So that's what I pride myself in.
That is really key, because over the years I've had different cleaning services, and I found that when you know the person and it's not a corporate type of thing, there's a whole lot more personal attention. The trust level goes way up.
Yes.
Things don't get broken. very often, and if they do, it's not, oops, we'll hide this. It's we are completely can cover this.
Exactly.
The caring part of it, that's the thing. You feel like you've got somebody who cares as much about it as you do.
Yes, and that's what I found in my journey since I've started my business is I really love connecting with the homeowners and learning the things that make them tick and their hot buttons, and just having them knowing that they're coming home instead of cleaning from the night before, they're coming home, opening a bottle of wine, enjoying each other as
life,
a family.
Enjoying
Yes.
life.
Everything smells wonderful and sparkles.
Yes.
What's
Definitely.
your lead time? How are you on? Can you come over tomorrow? That kind of thing.
I do the very best I can.
I'm sure you
yes,
do.
and I am very excited because I have started hiring more employees so I can service more people. So I'm very excited
That's
about
marvelous. And you go through, I'm sure, a vetting process on that.
I do. Again, with my coaching, I am running my business based on core values. So I am only taking on clients that have the same core values as me. I'm hiring people that have the same core values so that we're all in sync.
That's very smart.
Talk a little bit about
Very
those core
smart.
values.
Yes, please do. Especially today.
Well, they are do what you say
And say what you do.
and say what you do and be proud. Be proud of what you do, be
Okay.
proud of what you're doing, and be proud of who you are.
Excellent.
That is
Excellent.
really good.
And it shows up too.
Yes.
You can just see it written all over your face. You're doing what you love.
Oh, I do.
And
Yes.
you will never want for business because there's plenty of it here in Florida. I'm so
Exactly.
excited to meet you coming down here and
Thank
doing
you.
this show.
How big a territory do you do?
I am servicing Pinellas and most of Hillsborough County, and I will go into Pasco.
Okay. That's a good
quite-
area. That's
quite a
great
lot
to
area.
start.
Yes, once my team expands a little further, I'm going to be branching out to more
Do
areas.
most people do once a week or every other week? Or,
The norm is usually every other week.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sort of thinking I may need to get back into doing this again now that I'm talking to you, and there's a whole different vibe here of, okay, I could trust you to do this, and I'm not talking to a corporation.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
There's a personal touch here. You can actually feel that. That's why you're going to be so successful because you really do care about your
I
customers.
do.
It's obvious.
What's a good way to get in touch with you?
Oh, I'm available by phone, email, just like everybody else. I've got my
You're
phone.
working on your website.
Yeah, the website is done. Always tweaking, always improving.
Staying with the times. Right?
Yes,
And they
exactly.
can see the kind of services that you have.
Yes.
And then I'm sure the cost varies simply because it depends on the house, depends on
Yes.
the level of clutter or the level of non-clutter.
Yes. Yes, it's very situational, and I prefer to go to somebody's home, have a conversation with them, see the space,
Walk through,
See if there's a
yes.
match of enthusiasm.
a match of core values
Exactly.
to see if we're a
Because
fit.
You need to be able to move around in the house to be able to clean, and I'm guessing that would come into play as well, which is a good point, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I get your core values and all. Gosh, 40 seconds remaining.
I'm like, where do I sign up?
I know. You are just so awesome. I'm so glad that we had you here, Liz. From Sandpiper Services, Liz Doyle. If you would like to have your house neat and tidy, I think you need to be calling this gal. You'll come out, have a personal conversation, give a quote based on what
Yeah.
you see. Is that correct?
Exactly right.
Okay. And what's about the soonest that you could get started? Within a couple weeks, a month?
What are you doing in a half hour?
What's wonderful about a new business is you get to do this
Yes.
and get in early.
Exactly.
Yes.
We got to go, and we could sit here with you all day. Thanks
Thank
for joining
you.
us, and thank you. We'll be right back. More. We have guests with My Chamber TV. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We're featuring the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. New members. I love it. Jean Hungiville, president of Tarpon Chamber. And our next guest happens to be Tim Price with iTrip-Palm Harbor.
Yes, that's
I
right.
can't wait to hear more about this.
It's very unique.
Yes, it is unique. I mean, you're really creating a brand for yourself, a niche business. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, iTrip-Palm Harbor. So we're a full-service short-term rental property management company. So what we do is we
Talk a little bit more about the specifics of that, because I still am trying to get my head wrapped around
yeah.
it.
So the Airbnb, VRBO, it's the old term was vacation rental. That is now changing to short-term rental. So that's basically any
okay.
property that's 2, 3, 4 days. People are renting out, and then we go all the way up to 6 months. That's
Okay.
basically our cutoff.
So if somebody goes to Airbnb, they only get just Airbnb. And so when they're looking at how we want to get across all these platforms, is that what you're doing?
That's what we do. So that's kind of our niche. So if you
Okay.
list your property with iTrip-Palm Harbor, you're not just listing it on Airbnb, VRBO, TripAdvisor, or Booking.com. We actually list it on over 85 sites. So, and it's all integrated. So if someone goes and books on one of those sites, it is integrated to block all the other sites that we listed on.
Nice.
So 85. I
Yeah,
had
most
no
people-
idea there were that many.
We are a national company, and there are over 85 channel sites throughout the world. Yes.
So what made you start this business?
So I was a healthcare administrator before. So after the military, I went back and got my master's degree in healthcare administration. So I was an administrator for the VA hospital and for Moffitt Cancer Center. And I was also into investing. So after I bought my last 2 rental properties, I was going to fix them up at 6 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays before the tenants would move in. My wife was like, it's just crazy how you love getting up at Saturday and Sunday morning at 6 a.m. to go fix your properties, but yet you're stressed about work Monday through Friday. And that comment just sat in the back of my head for a while. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm doing the wrong thing in life.
There you go.
So I reached out to a franchise broker and asked if there was anything in real estate that I could franchise. And he presented me a couple of different options. When iTrip came across, I loved the model. I loved the numbers. And I went for it.
So it was one of these, okay, I'm making myself crazy. And then this little voice,
Yep.
A
your
little
wife-
light bulb
Yep.
went
your
off,
wife
right?
made
That's
the
right.
light bulb go off. Sounds like a good partnership thing.
Yeah.
That's
Then she's
what I'm
asking me, why are you
thinking.
doing this? I'm like, it was your idea.
That is fab. You know, it's funny how
Yeah.
somebody can make a comment and it just sits there and just,
Percolates.
it percolates.
It
and
does.
then you get the aha moment. What am I doing?
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely.
I love
That's
that.
exactly what happened.
So you had properties, and you also are a perfect example of why the chamber works. This is something I really want to share, is that Liz, who was just on a few minutes ago,
Yes.
you met through the chamber.
That's
Talk
correct.
a little bit about what happened.
So I joined the chamber, and Liz had joined the chamber, and she had started a new company. And obviously, I was starting off, and one of the first things I needed to find was cleaners. So she started Sandpiper Cleaning Services. So I walked right over after the meeting, after we do the 30-second speech of going around the room, and was like, "Hey, I need you." And she said, "Okay, how can I help?"
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just
That-
like
what-
that.
Was that Property Partners?
No, it wasn't. It was just one of the regular meetings.
One of the regular
Yep.
meetings. Okay.
Just the affiliates meeting.
See, we're doing the right thing. This
That's right.
makes my heart really sing, because this is what the core of the chamber is.
Yeah, it really is. It's not about paying your dues and just expecting things to happen. It's about getting involved. And then, I mean, when things happen like this, it's like a big happy family,
Oh,
a
it is.
business family.
Well, when you two came in and were hugging each other, it was like,
Yeah.
how do you, oh my gosh, didn't even know it until this morning.
Yeah, we've been doing business together since about day one. So
Marvelous.
yes.
Now, talk a little bit more about how this multiple platforms, if someone's looking for exposure, how do you help them with that?
So if a homeowner comes to me and they actually sign the agreement to list their property with iTrip-Palm Harbor, then I take all the information. I pay for the locks to get integrated onto the door. So we put our own locks on there. That way when a guest books, they automatically get their code and they can show up and then get in. That's fully automated. Then also we come in, we do the professional pictures and get all those uploaded to our database, the iTrip database. Then it feeds all the other channel sites. So we are the mastermind behind. We're feeding the Airbnbs, the VRBOs. We update our headlines, our name of the property. That feeds out to all the other ones. It's all integrated.
That is a key word, mastermind. I love that.
Yeah, because it's
This is exciting.
It's maintenance, it's marketing, it's taking care of all the business part of it.
Yes. And we just recently partnered with Homes and Villas by Marriott, which I thought was very exciting because everybody thought, how is the short-term rental and the hotel is going to compete against each other? Well, they're not. They're actually partnering together. So now once
See?
we get signed up and we have our properties listed with Marriott, guests can go on there, use their Marriott points to book our properties, and Marriott will pay us in cash.
Oh, sweet.
So very exciting.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
looking for a property that you have. How do I, as the consumer, find it? Do I?
You can go to my website, or itrip.net, or you can go to my personal website, palmharbor.itrip.co. Or if you're just looking on any of the sites, you may click on one of the iTrip properties on Airbnb or VRBO or, again, TripAdvisor, Booking.com. You just don't know that you're clicking on an iTrip property.
Yes, because we get a lot of people that are walking in, particularly between December and now, who have said, okay, we love coming here, but we weren't able to stay a long time. How do I get this? So having this tool to be able to say to them, if you want to look across all of these different platforms in our area, here we go.
Yes.
Okay, I now get it.
Yep.
I'm now getting it.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, and we
really
also,
does.
I do partner with real estate agents because I do not partner, or I do not sell real estate, but a lot of real estate agents need a place for their clients to come down and stay for 30, 60, 90 days while they actually look for a place to buy. And it's not readily available. So I've been partnering with a lot of real estate agents and putting their clients up. So that way they have time to
That
stay.
is perfect.
Yes.
That's smart.
And especially if they're down here and they have put an offer in and the back and forth negotiating and all that. And sometimes that can take like a weekend or a week, but it can also take 30 days, 60 days, and that kind of thing. So this is perfect.
Well, the other thing too is we have so many people, particularly in the last couple of years, who walk into the chamber, say, I've sold my house in New York, it sold very quickly, or Michigan, or Chicago, or someplace. We're here, we are in an Airbnb or we're in a hotel, and we need to figure out, we're going to stay here until we find the right property. And this happened, and yes, you are perfect for me to be able to say, here's who you need to talk to.
Yeah, especially so my territory is the Dunedin Causeway all the way up to Weeki Wachee.
Okay.
And then all the way back as far east through Spring Hill, Keystone, Odessa, Trinity. But there's just not a lot of hotels in that territory.
That's true.
So, and there's always a lot of events going on around here. So it's not easy for people to find places to stay, especially for long periods of time.
Weddings.
Weddings, scallop season. We just had the Valspar. I mean, there's just a lot going on.
Okay. Now, did you talk to Pat, who was our first guest?
I did not, but I need to.
I was
So
just
I will
gonna
find her
say
as part of the
the
chamber,
same
though.
thing. Yes, I mean,
So-
that's going to be another
you
marriage
need
made
to.
in
I didn't
heaven.
even
Yep.
think about that with that kind of thing. But that makes sense because, yes, people come in for a week before the wedding and they want a place to stay. Absolutely.
Yes.
Close by.
Yes.
You've got a smorgasbord. I love it.
Gosh, it leaves nothing.
My
I
brain
can't think
is
of
running.
anything. Is there anything that we missed? I mean, well-rounded business for the community and a nice stretch along, all up and down the coast.
what
there.
about
It's
what
fabulous?
properties are condos, townhouses, houses? All
All the above. Yep.
of the above.
Even manufactured homes. A lot of the homes up on the Weeki Wachee River do very well because everybody likes to come for the river and to swim with the manatees. And those manufactured homes, even along the river, do very well.
So
Wow.
you've got all price ranges. So somebody can get into a mansion with a pool
Yes.
and all the way through everything. My brain is just thinking.
I know.
everything,
I'm thinking, who can I refer? I mean, this is fabulous.
Yeah. I mean, there's everything. I've got a small as a 2-1 condo that's literally a block from downtown Palm Harbor.
Okay.
And then everything up to over $1 million property that's 6-bedroom, 5-bath with an indoor pool.
So you can cater to anyone out there. Gosh, we have just a few seconds remaining. We have to say goodbye, but boy, we aren't going to forget about you. Thank you so much for joining us at iTrip, and thank you for joining us. And we'll be back with more guests here on My Chamber TV. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community, and today we're featuring the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. We happen to have Jean Hungiville, and we have our next guest. I can't wait to hear even more about this. Brance Kane with Surface Solutions Pressure Washing. And you have truly, it seems like today is the niche chamber.
It is.
Everybody's creating their own niche, which is really fabulous today because it works. Now, you're going to high demands when it comes to your clients, and you're looking to save money as well. Just before we opened this segment, you were talking about the sample board here. We're going to get into that, but what made you get into this? You've got some serious background.
Yeah, my wife and I have been in the high demand customer service industry for years. I spent 17 years in the restaurant industry, from everything from dishwashing all the way up to management, general management.
Well, that's high demand.
My
That is
wife
really
was
high
correct.
demand.
My wife was in upper management as well with a couple of companies that we worked with together. And then together we've worked at a fire protection company, the largest one in Southwest Florida, for the past 12 years. My wife's been there for 14. She's moved up and I've kind of stayed in the same place. So I decided I wanted to make a move. So having some pressure washing experience, kind of doing through the learning curve of the newer techniques and the newer products out there, which was a quick learning curve. We decided to go into this field. It's a high demand field. We want to work with real estate agents and mortgage brokers and stuff like that. And we feel that we can meet that high demand because we've done it for years.
High demand as in, okay, I need to have this house on the market in 2 days.
Correct.
And
So when they need stuff done fast, we can handle that. We know how to move around customers. We know how to make time for people. We'll work outside of normal hours. If we do commercial properties, we can come to your property and do it either before you open or on a weekend, so we're not disturbing your customers. So there's little things like that we feel we've worked out for customers very, very well.
So you extend your services to accommodate your customers.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's like round the clock, and it works.
Yes, we are firm believers that the customer is right. To a certain
Oh.
extent, we really do feel that. I mean, if there's things that we can't meet, if we can't meet an expectation, that's one thing. But if a customer is looking for a certain thing and they don't feel like they've got it, we're going to do the best we can to make sure that customer is absolutely satisfied.
And that's all you can do is the best you can. Can we talk about the sample board here?
Absolutely. So this is one of the best ways.
this is marvelous.
Yes,
is.
this is one of the best ways that we can provide the biggest value for our customers. So we really, our niche and ideal customers work with people in real estate. So just an example, if you had a new client that had a fence that needed to be replaced because it looked like this.
Lots of them do.
Yeah, it doesn't take very long for your fence to look like this.
Especially in Florida.
Which I'll get into a little bit further as well. But when you have a new client as a real estate agent and the fence looks like this, as long as it's structurally sound, we can take this and very economically turn it into this nice clean panel, almost giving it a brand new look. After that, we can also apply some stains to it. It's a stain and sealer mixture. This is a lighter color, more of a natural tone, and then we have a darker color that people can use. Now, if somebody was selling their house, they may not want to go with these stains. But let's say a real estate agent walked in with a new client, and the new client was looking at a house to buy, and they saw the fence look like this. Well, now the real estate agents say, I got a guy that can turn it into this for fractions of what it would cost to buy a new fence.
That is the key word, is you're saving money. And that,
Absolutely.
I mean,
This costs fractions. To replace a fence, I could probably do your roof, your house, your driveway, and the fence
Did you guys hear that?
for the price.
Say that
This
again.
is fabulous.
For the price of a fence, we're replacing our fence right now. We're just doing the two sides. We have a small backyard. We're about to spend about
home.
$2,500 at home. Yes. And it's just because it's an old, dilapidated fence. We can't do this to it. It's falling apart. But if you had one where somebody was going to come in, for the price that it would cost to rebuild or to replace that fence, even hire a company, I'm using myself to do it to save money. But if you hired a company, that could cost you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I could do your fence, your roof, your house, your drive. I could do all of that for that. For probably less than that,
And
a
you know,
fraction of that price.
and
That's amazing.
That's going to affect the selling price.
Absolutely. It also gives a perceived value to
Yes,
the customer.
It does. It
And,
does.
You know, when
shows
when I was buying a house, the first thing I looked at was the roof. It's such a large investment.
that is the biggie.
So if I was to walk up to a house, I'd look at the roof and I'd look at the real estate agent and say, how old's the roof? 15 years old. If it doesn't look good, I'm immediately thinking I've got to replace the roof.
Well, and the thing is, roofs, particularly in Florida, take on a certain tone, and if you don't keep them clean, there's a difference. From what I understand, there's different types of pressure washing because there's this, and then there's some. Talk a little bit about the.
Well, there's high pressure washing, which is what we do on your services, and then there are surfaces, and then there's what's called soft washing, where we don't use any high pressure at all. It's more chemical based. We treat the roof, we treat the house, and then we rinse it and clean it off after that. And that really preserves your paint, really preserves your roof. You can get a lot more life out of your roof if you clean it. That mold and mildew that collects in Florida is very corrosive to a lot of these surface areas. Yeah, we all know how corrosive Florida is. It's very hard on everything. The sun, the salt water. You know, we do solar panels. A lot of people put in solar panels, and it's been a few years now. And after a couple years, they get a haze over them of the mold and mildew, and that decreases the power by up to 7% is what statistics show. So after a couple of years, your solar panels are not performing to 100%. So we have a service where we come out and clean them for you.
Oh, see, I've got 3 different people who are chamber members that sell solar panels that I need to introduce you to.
Yes, absolutely, please.
Because that would be perfect. I never even thought about that.
Yes, and we also do commercial. We do all residential, but like I said, we really want to focus on the real estate market because we really feel that property investors, property flippers, property managers, commercial or residential, real estate agents, and then also HOAs. HOAs are obviously, people are trying to stay up on top of their HOA requirements, so we want to work with
and everybody
HOAs.
wants to keep the cost of those down.
Yep.
Yes.
We've got a couple of those that are members of the chamber as well.
Yes.
So is there anything you don't do?
Good.
I mean,
we actually have a nice little referral program for people as well. This is another way to incentivize people within the industry. And this is not, we're not giving anybody any money, but if you were to refer.
There's your family.
Yep, there they are. That's all of us.
aw, neat.
Thank you for showing the website. Yeah. I got 2 kids, one just out of high school and one's in the middle of it here at Tarpon Springs. Both graduated from
family
Tarpon
business.
Springs. Yep. All of us. I think my son eventually, hopefully, will work with me one day.
That's terrific.
That would
We'll
be
see how that
great.
works
Isn't
out.
that
Yeah, that'd be
exciting?
nice. We'll work
So
together.
you are just full of energy and just so many different points that you're bringing out about your business that people can use. And the key word is real estate, really. Like you had said earlier, you're catering to the real estate agents as well. And to be able to do that at just the drop of a dime, I mean, that is huge to be able to, fulfill that.
Yeah.
You started to talk a little bit about referrals.
Yeah, so we have what we call kind of a gives back program. So what we do is we give you credit back. So if a real estate agent was to use us for, say, 5 clients, we give them 10% back towards their own services. Now, we're not giving them money, but we're giving them credit to use it towards another client, to give it towards a family member. So for every basically $100 that somebody would spend that you refer to, so if you referred a property to me and they spent $300, you would get $30 in credit towards a service that you would like to use from us towards your family, towards a friend, towards your own house, towards a client. So it gives them a little flexibility that if they use us, they can get something out of it later.
Of course.
Now, to tell you the truth, if a real estate agent gives me $5,000 in work, I'm probably not going to use anything. I'm just going to come out and help them out. That's the kind of business we want to build. We want to take care of our customers as much as possible.
So if I'm looking at a condominium and they need to have a variety of things done, particularly with the different types of if there's a property manager that is watching this, they need to call you.
Correct.
Oh, no doubt.
Absolutely.
I'm running through in the condo that I live in. We're going through looking at some different maintenance companies.
Correct.
So
And with a condo, if you bundle a lot of that stuff together, let's say multiple services need to be done, that is very cost effective for us, and we pass those savings on to our clients. And we try to be transparent about that. Look, if you have us out once, you're going to save some money. If we have to come out multiple times to do multiple services, that's going to cost you money.
And when you with your background,
We got to go. 15 seconds. How fast?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, yeah, go. I talk a lot.
More questions. Okay.
No, you're doing great. Well,
This
we
is
want to
awesome.
thank you for joining us
Thank you
on
so
My
much.
Chamber TV and being such a great member. And we want to thank you for joining us. We'll be right back with more guests. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are featuring the Tarpon Springs Chamber of Commerce. We've been having a lot of fun with new guests, new
members.
It's really awesome. Gary Huested has G2 Home Service.
Yes, ma'am.
This is your business, and you've had it for 10 years.
Yep.
And give us a little history about how you partnered up with your dad.
So, me and my dad have both been in construction most of our lives. He's been doing for 40, 50 years, obviously.
Oh, wow.
We've been in a lot of different trades, various types of construction. And if you know anything about the trades and everything else, it's very tough to work in those. A lot of times the employees are not treated great. They're not taken care of. They don't have some of the creature comforts that other industries have. And so when we decided to start this company, a lot of that was dependent on the fact of we were both at other companies at the time that maybe weren't doing the best that we could, and that we wanted to give back to other people that are working and that are dealing in these trades and start a company that we could really be proud of and benefit our employees and make sure that they're taken care of as well.
That means a lot.
Yes, it really does. That's that heart thing again.
Exactly.
And the quality that's important. That's one of the things I think we're seeing in the last few years.
Right.
People really do care. And it's one of those things, go to your core values. And we were talking about that earlier with another guest.
No doubt. No
But
doubt.
you joined your dad how long ago?
Well, we started the business together. It's actually been 12 years now we started it. And so we started basically doing like landscaping and lawn care. Right about the time was when we had that kind of large real estate crash. So we were doing a lot of foreclosure property cleanups and everything like that. But really within the last, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago, we got our contracting license where we actually started getting into kitchen and bathroom renovations and remodeling and room additions.
Okay, so you went from cleaning up to doing that.
Yeah.
And you said you just bought him out.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how fun that is.
It's a little scary. I don't know if I'll go fun. It's scary.
That was in quotes.
Yeah, a little scary, obviously. My dad is. He's the kind of guy that I don't really expect to retire. I mean, he's going to leave on August 12th is his last day. That's his birthday. He will be back. I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine. I know he's going to do some traveling and things like that, but I'll imagine he'd be back pretty quick. And he's one of those guys that he's not going to do well in retirement, I think. But it is a little bit nerve-wracking because now it's all on me, right? Every question, everything that happens, there's no scapegoat. There's nobody else that I can talk to about it. And he'll always be there for questions,
always
obviously.
be there for advice.
Right.
He will go into retirement slowly. But you've got this cushion there that says, hey, Dad, let me brainstorm with you.
And in my industry, that's what a lot of this is anyways, right? We don't have a book that says black and white, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is not what you're supposed to do.
No.
So a lot of it we have to do based on experience, based on, in our industry especially, there's so many new products that are coming out and so many different things that change on a constant basis that we have to look at the project as a whole and determine what's best for the project, what's best for the customer, what's best for our team members, what's best for the bottom line, and make sure that we can deliver to the customers what we promised them.
And the cost factors in your type of business, especially the happiness that we went through for the last few years, and costs going up, and I'm sure that you want to be right in there at that competitive level.
So I was at a convention last year in Las Vegas, and basically that was in the middle of April. From January 2022 to April 2022, our industry had already felt a 26% inflation rate.
Good grief.
Where across the nation, I think at that time we were 8 to 9%. So this industry is getting hit hard. And a lot of it is because of the addition of the markup that goes across the board.
Of course.
What happens is when the raw materials that are coming in, like windows, things like that, the extruded aluminum, extruded vinyl, when those come in and they're being marked up when they're mined all the way down to when the end customer gets them, that's what really creates that huge increase in price.
Got an increase in labor costs all across the board, and all of that as well.
Sure.
So it's, What about supply chain issues? Is that getting a little bit better?
I don't notice it as much. We have a specialized process that we do all of our kitchen and bathroom renovations on. We start every project with a design consultation. We do charge a retainer for that consultation process. But essentially what we do is we're putting together plans, we're putting together renderings for the customers. We make a very detailed scope of work that tells, exactly what we're going to do and what we're not going to do, because we want to make sure the customers know that as well.
That's a good idea.
We go to our showroom, we pick out all the materials with the customers, and we actually have our subs come out and give us their fixed pricing so we can deliver a fixed price proposal to our customers. But once we get through that process, if they say, hey, yes, this is, we want to move forward, we sign the contract. While we're waiting on permitting, a lot of the municipalities right now are 6 to 8 weeks for permits.
Okay.
So as soon as we get the contract signed, we collect a 30% deposit and we order all the materials.
So you're a locked in price.
Locked in.
Okay.
Yep. So that's the why we do it that way, is just to help make sure that you don't end up with surprises at the other end. The typical method of contracting and doing these remodels is, hey, we're going to come out and we're going to give you an allowance of $3 a square foot for tile, and maybe $500 for plumbing fixtures or whatever it is. The problem is that when you get to the end of the job, then what happens? Now you have a change order that's going to a customer, and they might otherwise have been very happy the entire project, but now at this point, you're handing them a bill that they weren't expecting.
Yes.
And what does that do to your reputation? What does that do? That's the biggest killer of a referral or a review I've ever seen in my life. And that's why we changed to this way. And I'll be honest with you guys, this process isn't for everyone. I really try to make sure that they understand what we're getting to, but I'm asking for a lot of trust. I'm asking for a lot of understanding up front, because we are charging a consultation fee for this process, but it's all, the bottom line is to help the customer get to the end result.
Of course.
Being honest and transparent through the whole process.
Doing that, and I'm running through my head because I have a bathroom that I want to do in 2 stages, but because I'm not sure what it's going to cost.
Sure.
But having you come in, and I know that I'm going to get a quality look over, not just a, hey, we're going to do per square foot, and it'll probably cost you sort of this amount, et cetera, et cetera. I will have a plan in place so that when I say, okay, I can do this part of this bathroom, and then the other part over here, and then maybe I want to take a look at the kitchen later on.
Absolutely.
Then I've got a quality product that's in my hand.
Exactly, and you know what you're paying for. I've seen some contracts and have heard some nightmare stories. You need to read the contract from start to finish. There's some things in there that are not necessarily hidden. They're up front. By the way, we're giving you an allowance for this amount of plywood. But down the road, it may be this amount, and
you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
It's crazy.
I mean? And so, like I said, I don't want to sit here and say, like, in construction, we're always dealing with unforeseen circumstances, right?
Of course.
I don't know what's behind this wall right here. Of course. But we always try to make sure that we know. One of my favorite things I see on one of the the construction TV shows is where they go, we're gonna do this job for you. And it's gonna be X amount of dollars, and yada yada yada. And then the first day of demo, they go in and they tear out this wall that is clearly holding up the second floor of the house. And they go, man, now we got to put this $30,000 beam in here that we weren't expecting.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's why during
what you do for entertainment?
Listen, it gets me through the day for sure. But what I do is at that initial walkthrough, I'm cutting walls open. I'm doing very small inspection holes just to make sure that there's no sense in us going through this process if we can't do it, or if it's not going to be worth it, or if we do have to do a beam, we know that the price is there ahead of time. It's not something that's later on down the road.
Exactly. And your reputation is at stake. It really is. And thank you for protecting your reputation. That's why you're still in business. That's why you're buying your dad's part here. Oh, yeah. You guys are great.
And a lot of this, I'm sure, comes from your dad saying, this is how we're going to do it, and the two of you working together.
Trial and error, right? We had to figure out a lot of this. And like I said, I mean, this is up until, I think we've been doing it this way now for 2.5 years. Right when COVID started is when we started this way, because prior to COVID that year, 2021, I believe, we were out there I was running 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, running estimates. You go out and you send out all these estimates, and then next thing you know, you get maybe 1 or 2 calls back a week later. And it's just, you're spending so much time, and I'm just thinking to myself, man,
gotta go.
There has to be a better way.
We gotta go.
No problem.
You gotta call this guy. I mean, you're awesome.
I get to talking too much. I'm sorry, guys.
Thank you for joining us. Take care.
Appreciate it.
I know. It's so good to have you back.
Oh, thank you. It's good to be back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, you did it.
I did it.
Brought us back, and you said you were going to.
Barbara Marvel, Jean Hungiville, Tarpon Springs Chamber, and we just love being back together again.
Okay, it's all about you and the chamber, because I see this huge list of things that are going on in the Tarpon Chamber.
It's nuts.
And you've been there 5 years, and I know for a fact that you have made such a major difference. So I want to applaud you for that. Let's talk about why it's growing and growing, and you're meeting your goals.
It's fabulous. But one of the things that I want to do before I really get started is to thank our corporate sponsors. We have corporate sponsors now, which we haven't had in quite some time. Platinum member just right up there for us. Advent Health North Pinellas. Fabulous. Thank you guys. We could not do this without you. It's, get us through the pandemic. Really supportive of us. We're very supportive of them. We're so lucky to have them in the community, and they're becoming part of the community anymore. And we've got some silver sponsors as well. Silver sponsors, Ameriprise Financial, Ann Peterson. Thank you. You are awesome. Edward Jones, Rich Lundahl, again, longtime chamber supporter now, one of our platinum or silver sponsors, and then Flagship Bank, who is our purser at the Fine Arts Festival, but the Tarpon branch has come in and they are now one of our silver sponsors. You guys are awesome. That's where we do our banking. It's good stuff. Part of our banking there, good stuff. But we are growing.
I know you are.
Barbara, last year we had 102 new members, which was more than double our original goal. The board has set a new goal of 75 for this year simply because we're thinking, all right, it's going to grow. It's going to slow down a little bit because then people are getting back into the groove of things. Some businesses may. 75 by the end of the year. As of yesterday morning, we have 30 new members.
That is phenomenal. Congratulations.
And they just come in the door. And everybody you met today is all new members in the last month.
That's amazing.
And as we were touching on how do they interact and why are they here? Pam was brought in by one of our members, Adam, who was with Tactical Roofing. He brought her in, and she came to one of our events and went, oh, I want to be part of this. And just watching the interaction of everybody here and how do we refer business to each other, it just worked out really, really well.
And I just want to mention, with everybody that came here today, there was such synergy at the studio because everybody knew everybody, and the hugs and all of that. And that's the whole purpose with joining the chamber, especially the Tarpon Chamber. The way you have just orchestrated all of this, just family camaraderie and business.
It is family.
It is family, and it truly does work. So carry on, because we have almost 6 minutes.
Okay, that's right. I've got to keep me straight, Barbara.
Oh, I will.
We've got stuff coming up. We have our awards reception coming up. That is May 24th. It's at the Tarpon Springs Yacht Club. It's a dinner this year. And the thing that's wonderful about this, and I've been trying to do this for several years, is now instead of having just a reception and maybe some light hors d'oeuvres, and we last year had it at Ours Creole, which was fabulous, and we had heavy hors d'oeuvres. This year we're going to a full-fledged dinner. It's $50 a head to come to this. We're dressing it up because this is our award ceremony. This is our business of the year, small business of the year, medium business of the year, large business of the year, and then a nonprofit of the year, and then the overall business of the year. Last year, just to remember who came through this, our small business of the year, and this is this is under 10 employees. What can I help you with? And Mike Womack, who has that, is a handyman. He does a great job. And he just does fabulous things in the community, gives back to the community, handles stuff with the Fine Arts Festival. He's the guy who makes all the traffic work there. Medium business of the year, and this is 10 to 20, that's Flagship Bank. Flagship Bank really is out there for the customer. Large business of the year, over 20 employees, City of Tarpon Springs. And all of these were surprises.
How about that?
They were nominated, and they don't know who nominated them. Some nominated themselves, but it's usually an employee within.
Right.
But the City of Tarpon Springs really stepped up to things during the pandemic and really gave back.
Yes.
And they're kind of like, everybody just takes them for granted. They're large business of the year. It was really neat to be able to have city manager there who jaw dropped when we announced that was what was the case.
That's the fun part of the surprises.
It was absolutely wonderful. Our nonprofit of the year was the Tarpon Springs Rotary Club. Again, Tarpon Springs Rotary does amazing stuff.
Yes,
I would love to belong to it. I don't have time with what I'm doing here, but as soon as I retire from this, that's where I'm going to be putting my efforts forth. Sue Carson, who is the chairman of it or president of it this year, is on our board. I'm lucky to have her, and she just is an amazing woman. Amazing.
Exciting.
And then the overall business of the year was Flagship Bank, because they, being the heart of the community during the pandemic, they opened the door for anybody who came in that needed to find out, how do you do the PPP? How do you get into the EIDL?
Yes.
How do you get all of this money coming in? They said they did not say no to anybody. a lot of the banks were restricted because they were run by corporate, had to just service their customers first. But what happened with Flagship, open the door, everybody's welcome. It's the ultimate community bank.
And I remember that you were taking a lot of this information and brought it right to my chamber TV
Yes.
to get that information out to the public so that you knew what was going on. I remember that. That was phenomenal. That's what you do.
Well, that's what I do.
That's what
That
you
is
do.
what I do. But anyway, nominations for the Business and Nonprofit of the Year. We've got the criteria up. It's on. We've been sending this out for members. If you're interested in nominating somebody, even in your business, you have to be a chamber member. But give us a call at 727-937-6109, or you can email me at president@tarponsprings.chamber.org, and we can send you the forms, the criteria for this, and all this other good stuff.
So good. What about the splash?
Summer Splash. It'll be like the 14th year. I'm excited. June 13th. It's at Innisbrook. It is a business that is, there it is up on the screen. It is, I think it's the 12th year. And June 13th, 5 to 8. You have to be a member of one of different chambers, multiple chambers. We've got Dunedin Chambers involved, Palm Harbor Chamber, Upper Tampa Bay, and the Tarpon Springs Chamber. If you are a member of one of those chambers, we want you at Summer Splash. It's only $150 for a booth, but we get 500 to 600 people that come through looking at what businesses are here in the area, and it's also great networking among each other too.
Oh,
During the
absolutely.
setup. We also have we each bring 3 restaurants with us to serve food and samples. So
Do you know who's coming this time?
I've got about 5 of them that I have asked, and the first 3 that responds. So I'm looking at, okay, who wants to be out there with giving it? So I can't say it yet because I
Okay.
haven't finalized the list.
Maybe next month.
I will have it next month.
Good.
For sure.
Good.
We've got that coming up on the 13th, but and it is a competition. Each of us chambers vie for who's going to bring the most members. So if you're a member of the Tarpon Springs Chamber, I want you at this event.
Boy, you're not
because-
kidding.
Yes.
And you're such a goal setter and accomplisher.
I missed by 2 members two last year. Palm Harbor beat us. So
You'll get them this year.
I'm going to get them
You'll
this
get 'em.
year. Absolutely.
Hey, I've got to congratulate you.
On what?
Are you done with all of this
Yeah,
already?
I am. I could
Look
talk
at,
forever.
we still have 30 seconds remaining.
Oh,
Any last little kick you want to share?
yes. We
What?
have something every single week.
Okay.
So if you want to get connected with other businesses like what you saw here today, or just with businesses that you didn't see here today, give us a call because we have something going on every week.
Yes, you do. And you're so exciting. And I'm glad to be back with you
Love
again.
it.
Thanks for joining us with My Chamber TV, Jean Hungiville for the Tarpon Springs Chamber. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a
Bye.
great day. Bye.